Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. And I tell you, it's your business to be concerned about the ADHD business, and this is a boom one, which is why Frank Granett, Price of Business contributor and pharmacist by profession, we have him on. He partners with us here with his organization, CAOOY.org, and educating others about this boom business and how it may be affecting your life and the lives of those you love. And we've got some great articles, a series of articles that we're continually adding to that collection, Frank. And as always, delighted to have you on the show. How are you, sir?
Hey, great to be on again, Kevin. And today's no different. We got a great segment for our listeners. And, CAOOY, we're just helping parents help their kids get back on the right track, Kevin. And today's no different. We have a very great guest with us today. Her name is Cindy Crandell. She's a registered nurse, certified nutritionist. And today's topic, Kevin, we want to get into the toxic environment and what we can do as parents to help our kids through diet, nutrition, digestive function, get these kids back on track before we go to premature drug therapy. And Cindy, it's great to have you on our program today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Hey, Cindy, real quickly, let me begin by asking, first of all, right from the very start, your website address. And do want to tell the listener that they can learn more about Frank at CAOOY.org. Go ahead, Cindy.
www.nuviewnutrition.com, and Nuview is Nuview.
Thank you so much. Go ahead. Give us your elevator speech to get us started.
Well, when we look at ADHD, we look at several things, and from the perspective of underlying issues, you've got to look at overall toxic burden along with food, because both of them do make a difference. Again, gut health is really where you always start, because if you're not digesting and absorbing your food properly, really nothing else we do matters. So once that is accomplished, then you have to look at the overall toxic burden. And it's not really the question anymore of how toxic. It's not, are you toxic? The question really is, how toxic are you?
Cindy, the thing is, in the past, I got a quick question for you and comment on this. Back when women were pregnant and back decades ago, and it was just about, as long as you don't drink or smoke, everything's going to be fine. But now, talk a bit about that environmental working group study and the American Red Cross study. How significant is this toxic burden, and should our parents out there be concerned going forward, with neurobehavioral development, especially fetal development, with this report?
Absolutely, because, environmental toxins are basically poisonous substances that can come from outside of our body as well as inside our body, and we're subjected to them every single day. And what they found when they looked at the Environmental Working Group in 2005, did a study, and what they did is they tested the umbilical cord blood of moms that were delivering babies, and they found 287 chemicals detected in the umbilical cord blood of the newborn. And that included pesticides, consumer products, waste materials, coal, gasoline, just all kinds of different chemicals. 180 of the 287 chemicals were actually found to be a causative agent for cancer in humans or even animals. 207 were known to be toxic to the brain and to the nervous system, and 208 were shown to cause birth defects or abnormal development in animal testing.
Wow, that's incredible. And how does this happen? I mean, we live in a society with a lot of belief that the FDA and other things are taking care of us. I find that shocking.
Well, it is. But if you think about the environment that we're living in today, throughout our daily life, every single day we come in constant contact with environmental toxins. And we all are equipped with a built-in detoxification process. So it really just depends on whether that process, and it's very individualized, and how effective that process is actually working. So my detoxification system might be a lot more sluggish, possibly, than Frank's. So if he's got a better built-in system, he's going to be able to excrete these toxins more efficiently each day as they come in. However, if you've got a person with a very burdened detoxification system, they're going to store more toxins. Mm-hmm. And these toxins are coming at us in several ways. You've got the pharmaceuticals, you've got the plastics, you've got the pesticides, the herbicides, you've got the petroleums, and then you even can get down to the stuff that are sprayed on the Teflon pans, the flame retardant that's sprayed on the children's pajamas, on all of our plastics, carpets. It surrounds us on a daily basis, and basically, before you get out of the bathroom in the morning, you've exposed yourself to about 200 chemicals.
So what we need to do, Cindy, would you agree, is educate our parents and even the adults that are going through neurobehavioral issues such as ADHD-like symptoms. We have to look at this equation and go after the detox formula. So many practitioners such as yourself, give us a 1, 2, 3 for our listeners just as a takeaway. What does that involve? Like, what is your first 1, 2, 3 assessment to get them on, good gut health, good digestive elimination of toxins before we go to drugs?
We use customized assessment forms to identify the highest priority areas. But when you're starting with the gut, you've got to make sure you have the right probiotics on board. You've got to make sure digestion is occurring through chewing habits. Not drinking as much fluid with your meals, so you're not diluting the enzymes and you're not diluting the acid that is naturally occurring in the stomach. You want all of that to be working so that when you are eating the food, it can actually be digested and absorbed and get to the cellular level. And then you look at food in itself, and food in itself can be a great way to start with just detoxifying. If you start with lots of cruciferous vegetables, which, again, you're dealing with children, so it's all about meeting that child where he's at and meeting them where they're at, starting somewhere. Let the child pick 5 vegetables they're willing to start with. And then you increase it as their taste buds change. But the detoxification process is very well supported with lots of cruciferous vegetables, which is going to be your broccoli and your Brussels sprouts and your cauliflower and your asparagus, and then getting creative as a parent and maybe working alongside a nutritionist to come up with creative ways to get this food into their diet. Just having those cruciferous vegetables is a great start to boosting the your natural ability to detoxify.
I got to wrap it up with that. Very, very informative, very educational. Give your website one more time.
www.newviewnutrition.com.
Yeah, by the way, I grew up in Ferndale, Michigan, and so this has got a real Michigan motif today because CAOY is also in Michigan. And with about 30 seconds left, Frank, wrap it up for us.
And Cindy, great to have you on today and being with us with your perspective. And Kevin, we got a great program coming up on our next segment with Dr. Travis Stork from the award-winning Doctors Program, Emmy award-winning show. He'll be on in our next segment. And look for Cindy, Crandell, and myself on usdailyreview.com. We'll have a more in-depth article regarding how we get kids back on the right track. That's CAOOY.org.
I do want to remind people that the best content here does show up over there at usdailyreview.com. Make sure you check that out. Great interview. Thanks to both of you. When we come back, much more for you. And you're listening to The Price of Business.